Hi everybody, Thatcher came in from Taste Media Group coming to you on LinkedIn Live today, and the focus of our topic for today is going to be education and how it's been affected by COVID-19. And for that perspective, we are bringing on Brad Anderson, a high school English teacher from Lyons Township High School. Brad has 26 years of experience. Brad, thanks for your time here.
Thanks for having me, Thatcher. I really appreciate you having me on.
And so, Brad, when did Lyons Township High School start going to the straight home from school or schooling from home system?
So we had spring break coming up the third week of March. And so that week, or the fourth week of March, so the week before that, we actually had the last day on Friday. And then we had Monday for a teacher work day. The teachers were supposed to come into school, meet with their teams, meet with their division chairs, come up with some plans. And then the e-learning started on Tuesday. Then the following week, we took our spring break, so there was no e-learning that week. And then this week, we've picked up with e-learning again.
So, Brad, what's your typical day look like right now?
Well, every day, we're required to have an assignment posted on Canvas, which is our online learning platform. Luckily, we went with Canvas years ago. I know a lot of the schools that were using Schoology have had the site or the platform crash due to the exponential growth in the number of posts happening around the country and around the world. So basically, the day before, or a couple days before, you post an assignment online. Some teachers are doing YouTube videos. For example, I'm reading chapters out of the Czar of Love and Techno, and then posting those links to YouTube, and then pasting that link into the assignment with the questions they have to answer.
And so, Brad, how is this affecting your, maybe, I don't know if you want to say like more extroverted students versus your introverted students, maybe the more outgoing versus the shy students?
You know, we talked about that in our interpersonal communications class. We had them take the old Myers-Briggs test and talk about the difference between extroverted and introverted people to help them with their communication skills. Obviously, if you're an extroverted person, you get energy from being with people versus the introverted person that is kind of sapped of energy by being around too many people at once or for too long. So there have been some students that are introverted that have just, this has been amazing for them, right? Because they can do the work and they don't have to have that energy drain of being around, in our case, 2,000, 2,300 people in the building all day long. But for the extroverted students, it's been really tough, right? Because now all of a sudden, that continual energizing feeling of walking in the hallways, going into classrooms, going to your PE class, going to your lunchroom, and getting filled by other people's energies is gone. And so it's been an adjustment, for everybody, but especially, for the extroverts that don't get that pump up anymore.
So, Brad, what type of experience are the current seniors going through, given that a lot of their end of the year events are going to be canceled, and also they're still probably deciding on what type of decisions they'll be making for next year in college?
Yeah, so the tough thing really is for the seniors. When you think about from an activities and athletic perspective, people that have preparing their whole lives for their senior season of athletics, or for that last play, or for the art show, or the big solo ensemble performances at the end of the year, those things just aren't going to be there. But as far as college goes, the big thing is that because of what Pritzker did in declaring these state of emergency days, nothing that happens during e-learning can lower a student's grade from where it was before e-learning started. So their grades can only go up. So, that's a nice thing, especially for second semester seniors. If they were doing okay, now this is a little cushion for them. The tough part is for the students that were preparing for AP exams. So those are courses where you're taking it all year long to get ready for this test that's usually the first 3 weeks of May. Those tests were usually multiple hour-long tests, some multiple choice, some written. Now they're being converted into a 45-minute online test. So that's a really tough thing for students that were looking for those advanced placement credits that would get them out of classes their freshman year of college. Some of them even start as sophomores these days.
And so, Brad, how do you deploy empathy in this moment for your students who are not only trying to go through obviously high school, but they're living through this health crisis and emergency, and then they're trying to do all this within the context of their home, which is going to be with parents and maybe other siblings.
Sure. Well, I think a lot of it comes from, a lot of diction, right? Like the word choice I use when I send them emails. Today I've been on Zoom meetings all day with my students from 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. I was in Zoom meetings with my students. And so I'm not just talking to them about the curriculum and about the assessments that are coming up or revisions they can do, but I'm talking to them about how they're doing. And I ended each one with like a message about staying safe and about how, our school is lucky enough to have a staff of counselors and social workers that are still online and on site that they can reach out to and Zoom with. I offered up just one-on-one Zoom meetings. Like, you don't have to talk to me about things from school. If you have stuff going on at home and you don't have anybody to talk to, I'm here to talk to you. And if then I feel like, there's a need for a mental health professional, then I would encourage them or put them in touch with somebody that can do that. Because in the end, 2 or 3 years ago, Lyons Township High School started working with the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence. And we've been doing some things with social and emotional learning, and we started with the staff, and now we've been kind of slowly matriculating that into the student body. So I think a lot of our staff is really understanding and empathetic. I think some of that comes across in what you say and how you offer yourself, make yourself available to them to talk through Zoom meetings or Google Meets or Canvas conferences, whatever platform you choose. But it's also, slowing down the curriculum. Our guidance from our director of curriculum instruction was, no more than 10 minutes of direct instruction and 30 minutes of work per period per day. So kind of slowing things down to realize that, hey, there are a lot of students going through a lot of things, right? The student that has 4 siblings at home and the mom is an essential worker and she's out in the workforce, and now my student is taking care of his 3 or 4 siblings. Or another case where there's 5 siblings in the house and there's 1 laptop that they're all sharing, all trying to do their e-learning. And so I told that student, I said, hey, you get it done whenever you can, whenever you get the laptop, do it. Don't worry, it's not due today for you. These are just learning experiences to help to get you ready for the summative. But in the end, it's more important that we care for their mental, social, and emotional health than anything else.
And any other advice you can give to teachers that are obviously going through a lot as well in this moment?
I think a lot of times people that are in kind of these kind of jobs where we're caring for other people, like our lives are about teaching people, our lives are about serving people or caring for people. A lot of times people forget about self-care. They forget that if you don't take the time to do what's necessary for you to feel your best, whether that's prayer or meditation or you getting a nice workout in or you eating right or getting enough rest, then you're not going to do your best for the people that you're trying to care for, the people you're trying to teach. So I think that first component of self-care is really important. And I think the other thing is to stay connected. Even though we're isolated in our homes, that doesn't mean we have to stay that way as emotionally, right? So if it's a quick FaceTime with a friend, we get a bunch of teachers together on Friday nights to play Pictionary. As stupid as it sounds, a bunch of our friends get on and we're just doing Pictionary on a Friday night. And those things kind of keep you feeling like you're still connected even though you're separated in your homes.
Well, Brad, I really appreciate your time here as an alumni of Lyons Township High School. It's great to know that people like you are in the building physically, I guess, and virtually, and just helping students through this moment as they will definitely come out on the other side better for it with people like yourself leading the way. So Brad Anderson, an English teacher for 26 years at Lyons Township High School. Brad, thanks again for your time this afternoon.
Thanks so much for having me. It was my pleasure.